Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to the Semi-Perfect Podcast on this July. It's July, isn't it?
It's the 25th of July.
Oh no! That means my cheese crackers
Can you guys hear
are...
me all right?
Oh
No,
yes, hi Paleo.
Paleo. No.
Hello.
What a bad start to the podcast.
Well, you can
I just
restart it. We
realized-
literally just started.
No. This is important. I have cheese crackers, and I just realized that they're expired.
Oh no.
Oh.
I, for some reason, didn't think it was July.
Wayne.
That was weird.
Yeah.
Wow. That's gonna put a damper on the whole weekend. Really.
What about your pie?
Oh God. Go. Why, Hero? Why did you bring up the pie? I messed up. I had a pie that I didn't like. I bought it and it wasn't being refrigerated, so I didn't think I had to refrigerate it.
Yeah.
And it's like a chocolate cream pie, and it tasted really weird. And I was like, huh, this just must be the taste. And then I was like, wait, there's other signs that something's wrong.
Yeah, sometimes your body's just like, no, think again.
Yeah. It luckily I didn't actually have any like food related blah, but there were like, I mean it looked beautiful, like it didn't like look like terrible, but it was starting to smell weird. I'm like, okay, this is a little odd.
Okay.
So
can we hear Paleo, by the way? Is that a thing that?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
good.
Well, as I was saying, welcome in to the Semi-Perfect Podcast. This is a day.
Is it?
Yeah.
It is. We have a very big podcast ahead of us because we have a super big weekend ahead of us.
Yep.
And really, the weekend itself is going to be kicking off for most of us tomorrow. And for a lot of people in the chat, because this is the weekend of BroNYCon 2018. So, yeah, very excited about this. We'll be previewing it. We'll be talking about some My Little Pony stuff. I think some Equestria Girls stuff.
Yep.
And we'll go through our typical intros and whatnot. But to start off this podcast, a friend of ours goes by Cadet. She actually was in a car accident today, and she's okay. The people that she was with are okay physically, but they're in a bind because obviously with any form of a car accident, there's going to be a lot of money issues. And of course, this happened on their way driving to BroNYCon. They got stranded at least for a while in Indiana.
Yep.
And so we're trying to help them out. Cadet's been a real good friend, and I know that she's helped other people out in the past, and
Right.
Very generous and wonderful girl. So, we're trying to raise some money to help them out. So if and Sarah, there's kind of a thing with you. With this.
There's a thing that I set up. If you have noticed, there is a drawing screen with a little doodle on it. So anybody who donates during the podcast will get a doodle. I don't know exactly how I'm going to work out the logistics of this, but like if you donate, you can leave a comment, and maybe in parentheses after your comment, you can say what character you want for your doodle. If you don't care, then don't put anything, and I'll just doodle something. But for each person that donates...
You should draw a picture
I
of
did too.
me.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what?
I donated it earlier. You should draw a picture of me.
You have to donate. You have to donate it again.
I donated to her PayPal.
The same amount again, or more.
Unfortunately, it's going to be just... I might be able to fulfill some doodles outside of the podcast, but I can't make any promises because, yeah.
Of time.
Yeah,
I'm
because of time
absolutely
and...
good, by the way.
Yeah.
This is very nice of you. That's very nice.
So again, we have
so
a
I'm gonna
GoFundMe
link that
to do that.
GoFundMe in the chat. It's also pinned to our Semi-Perfect Pod page. Just like a quick update, because I don't know if I've updated everybody here, but she has gotten a rental car that cost her about $500. It's kind of, I don't know what's happening with her car, because, like, I guess she's still trying to hear back from whoever is looking at her car and assessing the damage. But she doesn't know if it's gonna, cost more to repair it than to just,
From my experience, that car, I mean, that is a hurt car.
Yeah.
Basically, the front end of it was essentially, and everything in front of the bumper got ripped off. It looks like the bumper got shoved over. I mean, this car is in very bad shape. It's definitely not going to be something that's going to be repaired. Definitely not like within the week. There's a lot of work to do on this car. So yeah, hopefully, of course, if it comes to insurance and whatnot, it'll be on her side with this. But yeah, that's again why we're trying to.
Also, I see Drummershy is asking in the chat what was the cause of the accident. I won't go into too much detail, but basically they were stopped at a stop sign, and I think they were starting to merge onto a road that would then merge onto a highway. They were stopped, and some guy just like careened right into their front. That's what I understood of it. It was totally not their fault, but apparently Belmont, who was driving at the time, he got ticketed. So it's kind of like just a bum deal all around. So someone just wasn't paying attention and hit their front. So
to be clear, it was allegedly not their fault.
Right.
Yeah. But like we said, we're gonna try and help them out. Cadet's usually, joining us on a podcast and in the chat and whatnot, and has always been a big supporter in one way or another to a lot of us. So, helping a friend in need. So, right now the goal that we're trying to raise is $2,000, and we're just about at the quarter mark there already. And again, Sarah's offering to draw doodles if anyone wants them. Now, do you want them to say in the GoFundMe chat? Is that where you want?
I think that's probably going to be the most convenient, because I've got it pulled up here, and I've already got some people saying stuff, so I'm already starting on my doodles.
All right,
cool. It's happening, so
it's already happening. So.
All right. So as far as Semi-Perfect Podcast goes, again, I'm ACRacebest. You just heard from Toodles, our resident artist for the night, who will be drawing this. By the way, Sarah also does commissions and whatnot. Good to know. Also joining us, we have Hirosashii.
Hello.
There he is. PaleoSteno.
Hello, I'm in Hero's house.
Oh.
Does he know?
No, he doesn't.
Where are you hiding?
We have, Saberspark.
Thank you, Race.
You caught that, didn't you? I was joking on myself. And Laura.
Hey.
Hi. Now, funny thing, I was watching the BroNYCon 2016 vlog, and I didn't realize that you were actually in the vlog, Laura.
Huh? Which one?
The BroNYCon 2016 vlog.
I was definitely there on Sunday.
That's what I mean. I forgot that you showed up in the vlog. I was like, oh, look at that. So,
Try to keep
it
it
was
out.
it was very Saber's nowhere to be seen on the Saturday night version of that vlog.
Oh, I wonder why.
He ditched me. But I don't know why. No one ever will. So, so we're gonna run through the food posts real quick here.
Yep. Yeah.
People sent them to the hashtag. Oh,
Yep,
I just control hashtag.
Yeah, we've got Drummershy having a burger and a Diet Coke. Hey, Cadet, we're looking out for you. Stay safe. See you Thursday. Thank you, Drummershy. And then we've got Nikki D. Won't be able to watch tonight at work right now, but the plus side, I wrote a rap song in between check-ins. Just need a singer. Anyway, looking forward to seeing you guys at BroNYCon. Made some gifts for ya. Ooh, thank you, Nikki D.
Aww.
Looking forward to seeing you at the con.
Whenever I hear Nikki D, I think of Nicodemus.
Nicodemus.
I'm the Sultan. Which is not Nicodemus. That was the other mouse character from the movie, right?
Nicodemus was the magic dude, which doesn't make sense because I'll say it again. My second grade teacher ruined the movie for me because she made us read the book first, and I really loved the book, and then when we watched the movie, I'm like, what's this magic shit? But yeah, okay. Then we've got John Dash. Time to watch the semi-perfect pod while eating Nesquik and chocolate milk, and continuing my Pokemon White Nuzlocke. Nice. Good luck on the Nuzlocke run.
I want to get.
Ooh, wait. So they also asked, do any of you want to be a Pokemon on my team? As in like named? Yeah, just name your whole team.
Yeah. So I want to point out, John Dash put his Nesquik cereal in chocolate milk.
Yeah, that's fucking stellar, right there. That's genius.
Enjoy
Damn.
it.
The future is now.
I know what I'm having for breakfast. Reckless says popcorn and Pepsi Max. Nothing really special. Also, yay for the new background.
Nice.
Railroad Brony says got some Totinos, pizza rolls tonight. No lemonade though. Bevmo's ordering me some more. Sad
Nice.
song on World's Smallest Violin. We did know that the last.
I do love the
podcast had
fact
your
that
last
like
one in it.
Bevmo is having to order them more. That's
How about
brilliant.
this though? Mr. Krabs is playing that violin.
Yeah. Oh, the world's smallest violin.
Rosie says watching the semi-perfect podcast from my best friend Valerie's house in Maryland. Oh, kind of doing the PaleoSteno here.
Yeah.
We've had a crazy week. We crashed a car, caught a guy cheating on his girlfriend, but still end each day with a laugh. Crazy times.
Wow.
That's a good
Crazy
week.
times
Right there.
indeed.
That is a good week. I just hope that they like saw a stranger and they're like, I bet that guy's cheating. And then they were like, David 3X says a box of pita chips and a drawing of Gadget Hack Wrench from Chippendale Rescue.
Oh, I gotta switch screens. Where is that? Where is it? Oh, there
You
it
see
is.
this?
Looks good. Awesome.
Nice. Nice. Norse says, forgot to take a picture of my food, so here's an image of what I had. It is a pepperoni pizza. Hell yeah. Achieve Hunter says, I'll be going to sleep soon because I have to drive to Baltimore first thing in the morning. I'll see you all there soon. Excellent. Nora says, I got popcorn because I'm freaking out over packing. Oh! Okay, so who in the podcast, which of you guys still need to pack? Or girls?
Oh, I haven't already begun.
I'm not finished, but I'm
I got all my
most
stuff
done.
because I brought it over here.
Yeah.
I'm mostly finished.
I haven't started.
I started packing like 4 days ago.
Right?
My bag's just been
I-
sitting in the living room.
I usually pack like the day of,
Yeah.
the day of my flight.
Like an hour
'Cause-
before he leaves to go on his flight.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I can't do that.
What?
I got like 4 costumes to pack. I can't do that.
No. Well, the reason I do it is I've actually found that I tend to forget more things when I gradually pack
Mhm.
because I think I've already packed stuff. Like I know when I'm putting everything in. Not saying I haven't just straight up forgotten stuff this way too, but yeah.
Maybe.
So,
just, yeah.
I'm gonna pack tonight though. Oh, I'm gonna get everything together because I'm not gonna have time to do my after packing because I got work tomorrow. That's right. I'm still working tomorrow, and then I fly out. Doing like a half day. So
What time do you get to the airport?
over here, or
What?
over
No,
there?
I mean in Baltimore.
In Baltimore.
Like 2 in the morning.
Yeah, early.
So we're back to doing it this way, aren't we?
Who's gonna join and say hi?
What, the opening ceremony?
No,
At
Never
the
mind.
airport.
Oh, at the airport and doing the Boy.
I know that we gotta meet
Yes,
Matt.
that's
at, like,
my job.
at least Saber loves me. Oh.
I know that we gotta meet Matt at like 12:30. Like anyways.
Might as well just go meet Jeffrey at that point.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, yeah, I am very excited. We'll get into the BroNYCon talk here soon, but Sarah, I know we got a couple topics that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, sure. Was that all the SPP feeds? Was that all the food posts?
That's all that I saw. Actually, I think
Okay.
one just came in.
Okay.
It was Ozzy says, "Sorry, I forgot my food post, but I had a sandwich and some
Nice.
chips."
Cool.
Just
Thank
a
you, Ozzy.
sandwich?
Yeah.
Actually, he says I had sandwich, which could mean like,
Multiple?
yeah. I mean, maybe still having sandwich.
He's pregnant with a sandwich.
Why did you gotta take it that far?
Damn. So Sarah,
Yeah.
what's on the docket?
We should probably talk about that surprise episode that popped up. And now I just realized that like I have a spoiler screen, but I don't have it set up to where you can see my drawing. Well, no.
Spoilers over the doodle.
Huh?
Like
Oh, okay.
up above the doodle, just write spoilers, and then when that's gone.
Okay.
See, I'm smart. I'm a smart guy.
He's a smart guy.
Do 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 do.
Smart guy.
I watched that show. That was one of my favorite shows. It was one of the first like live action type shows that I ever got into. I loved it.
Okay.
What do you want to be when you grow up? Older.
Alright, so the surprise episode that like aired seemingly out of nowhere.
Has everyone in here seen it, by the way?
Nope.
No.
What the hell, guys?
Because
Y'all
they
wanna
said it was supposed to air in August. So I was like, sure.
Yeah. Do y'all want to step out for a bit, or?
Yeah, sure.
I don't care.
Okay.
I
Right
don't.
here first, folks. Saberspark doesn't care about My Little Pony.
Oh! Oh no. Okay.
Wow.
Have they dropped out, the people who don't want spoilers? Okay. I'm guessing so. Alright, so it's called Yakety Sax, and in this episode, Pinkie Pie picks up playing a bizarre instrument as a new hobby, but her friends get annoyed by her inability to play it. And I just have like a few words about this episode. Have any of them not heard of private music lessons? I just...
Including Pinky.
yeah. But like, they got private lessons for Celestio and her acting was shit. But they seem to forget about, oh hey, you can actually take music lessons and you can learn how to play this instrument well if you want to.
It was interesting. It was interesting because in this episode they like Pinkie Pie is driving everyone nuts.
Mhm.
And I just realized you and I are the only two that saw this episode in this podcast.
Yeah.
But cool. Yeah, so anyway, she drives everybody nuts with the instrument, and it's funny because I was pretty surprised when the solution that her friends came up with was you're not good now, so you should quit forever.
Yeah, like Twilight, she started out pretty decent, and then it just like went way downhill, and she's like, yeah, we don't want you to waste your time on anything that you're not good at. And that was literally the words that came out of her mouth, and it's just like, damn.
Like, yeah, like it was like, you suck, so stop.
Did
With a
they
smile.
acknowledge that Pinky already knows a bunch of instruments?
No, they didn't.
Oh,
Haley's here.
yeah, I'm still here. 'Cause
I thought we were-
I don't really care about like the premise of this episode because I did look up the the synopsis.
I mean,
and I was like,
it's still one of those episodes where it's like it's fun enough to watch, and I've seen a lot of people actually say this felt like a season 1 type of episode. It's a very much slice of
season
life
one
type
that
of
has shitty
episode.
writing.
Lord Faust has forsaken thee. Yeah, no, it's yeah. What were you saying, Sarah? In regards,
I'm just her friends were being real shitty.
real shit.
Real shitty.
I mean, everyone's got to get the multiplier of 5 shit. Like Rainbow Dash has gotten it. I think most of them have gotten it. Where like everyone's just like a piece of crap.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was.
This one
it
they
was
were
interesting, though.
collectively a piece of crap.
I think it was kind of odd, though, a little to me, how Pinky responded to everything, where she's just like, well, I'm just going to run away because it was one thing.
I'm a drama queen.
I was like, this is dramatic, and that's Rarity's job. What the heck? But, yeah. Sarah was able to relate, actually, to this episode more than she even may realize.
Yeah?
Because she cannot stand bagpipes at all.
Yeah, I can't. Like, the Vitaphone, or whatever the fuck it's called, like, it's got sort of like a bagpipey sort of sound, but it's not as bad as bagpipes sound. Even, like, when she was playing it badly, it didn't sound as bad as bagpipes do to me. Which is saying something, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rude. Just rude.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, did you like the episode? Or where were you with it?
It was alright. It wasn't a great episode in my eyeballs, but it was fine for what it was.
Yeah. It's not one that, like, I'll write home about, but like I said, it still had moments.
Yep.
I was more surprised by, like, some of the resolution stuff. I was like, damn. Okay.
Yeah, and even at the ending, it was a little weird, to which I guess there was no other way for them to spin it, but, like, it's just like, oh, the Yaks were like, oh, it is good because it's supposed to... I mean, that's a good thing to be like, oh, doing things for fun is good. I don't know where I'm going with this. I had somewhere I was going with it, but I'm drawing and talking at the same time, so it's hard.
I'll tell you where you were going. You were essentially making the point that because they were like, well, okay, you can play, we won't complain.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, it's not about, like, playing good isn't how good it sounds, it's if you have fun.
Yeah.
But that still doesn't mean it sounds good.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you know what it almost is? The best I can think of actually comparing this to are participation trophies. That whole instrument is apparently one gigantic participation trophy, and all you have to do is play it, and voila, you're good at it. And it's like, oh, okay. So, all right.
Yeah.
So this was the participation trophy episode.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. Should we bring everyone back in?
Yeah. Or at least bring in the people who have seen the Equestria Girls.
I was doing a message. Paleo, have you seen the Equestria Girls episode?
Yeah, I recently caught up with the because I watched both the Forgotten Friendship and the Roller Coaster Friendship.
Wait,
thing.
did you watch the one where they have like they're on the beach?
Yeah.
What the hell? We're gonna react to that one, I think.
We are.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I thought of some good things when I was watching it. I was like, oh yeah, I can definitely.
Well, when I say react, I think we're gonna do it at I don't know. We probably won't have time.
Oh.
But that was
Yeah.
the thing we were talking about doing it. Was it just
okay.
you, or were you watching other people?
Yeah, I was just watching it by myself.
Okay.
Now that good on you. No one's coming in.
I guess,
But
okay.
you've seen this.
Here. The page that I had opened that had like oh wait, there it is. Let's see. Okay. So we're gonna be talking about My Little Pony Equestria Girls Roller Coaster of Friendship.
Did see it? I thought they watched it.
I thought they did, but they might be doing something right now if they can't see the message.
Or doing something.
Something so
together.
the synopsis for this is in the
Going back
special.
in.
Oh, okay.
Ah!
Yeah, we're talking about the Equestria Girls now.
That's the one that I've seen.
Yes.
All right. So Hiro is still vacant because he is not. But yeah, so Equestria Girls, roller coaster of whatever the heck the title
Of friendship. And this special rarity's new job as a fashion designer for a theme park parade show jeopardizes her friendship with Applejack, and they must settle their differences in order to figure out why their friends are mysteriously vanishing. Dun dun dun.
The Rarity and Applejack shipping episode.
Yeah. This
Basically.
made me a Rare Jack believer.
Yep. I wasn't before, but now I am.
No, it's just Applejack's good for everybody. That's what we realized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Instagram Pony is pretty awesome.
Wait, she was the
Valencia something. That's
Yeah.
Vignette Valencia. I can't remember her
Something
name.
like that. Some sort of filter name.
Yeah.
It's like
But
someone
she's
just
super
pounded the
cute.
keyboard.
And I love her.
Well, yeah, so what did you guys think of this short?
I had fun. I like
I really liked it. It was
Whatever.
cute.
Yep.
Okay, so this is why we have the spoiler thing up, because I'm gonna kind of jump here.
Please. give
I
it to me.
I was pretty on board with the whole thing. I was like, okay, cool. But then I was like, really? They were in a room.
That was the best thing for me.
It's a good gag.
Don't get me wrong. I loved it in the sense of the humor side of it. I'm like, wow, okay.
It was
But at
so
the same
great.
time, I was like, wow, okay. But it was funny.
Like,
Yeah.
use like the magic that like the work of her phone camera with. And
They never explained it.
Yeah, they never explained why it got magic powers or anything. It's just like, oh, it just happened.
I might actually release just kind of a race reacts to this. I did film myself watching it,
Yeah.
but
Nice.
yeah, it was. I mean, it was fun. It's like you said, the shipping was quite heavy in this one. Like
Oh, right.
Rarity and Applejack were doing it at some point, in this. And at some point after it too. But yeah. Yeah, I thought this is the only Equestria Girls thing I've seen since
The camp over free?
Legend. Yeah, Legend of Trees.
You way behind, my boy.
I know, but again, that's the nature of doing a react series where sometimes it's like, are we going to react to this? Maybe.
Yeah.
So.
So
Yeah.
sometimes you don't
Special
even
one.
watch
I
it
haven't
at all.
watched any of the little shorts that were like on YouTube.
Nope.
Like
Yeah.
I tried one of them where it's like it was like a choose your own ending thing. I was like,
I
wait.
love those.
Yeah, those are cute.
Nice.
They're written by
But yeah,
Kate Leth.
overall, I thought it was a well put together deal. I thought it was, to me, it's one of those things where I title as harmless. Like, it's not like it changed a lot in regards to like lore or anything, but it was still
Gotta
fun
have
to
that
kind of see.
pony lore.
Valencia was just so, like, she wasn't like evil. She was just a bitch.
I
Yeah.
love her.
Like, she
Am I
didn't even
wrong,
care if she
though?
was killing the
No, you're not
girls.
wrong.
No, you're right. You're 100% correct, but I still love her.
Well, that's okay. That's all right. You are definitely allowed to love thine villain. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh man, she's very mean.
Yeah. Like, she didn't
As
give
Sarah
a
would say.
shit about, like, if she was killing them. She was like, oh yeah, zapping them into another dimension, or, I don't know, and vanishing them forever. I don't know.
One thing, like, because I was a little like trying. I felt like this was when it would come back as the like, I guess alter universe something of itself, but it was just like an image. I was like, what?
It was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird. It freaked me out. But at least the salad. Did anyone ever eat the salad?
No,
I
no
hope
one.
so.
Well, I don't know if anyone did, because
Everyone declared
apparently
that
they
were
don't
gonna
want to
that
eat
damn
it
thing.
without a fork. Did you see it
What?
without a fork, girls?
Come on.
Zapping a fork for those starving girls that won't
Is it
eat
like-
without a fork.
Yeah, like I just watched a movie where people got stranded on a mountain and their only option was to eat the people that died. And
Yeah.
here's the Equestria Girls where they're like, but there's not a fork. How could we eat this delicious looking salad of lettuce and tomato?
I
And
just
not-
thought of
That's it.
something.
Yeah.
Since the salad was the first thing to be teleported, wouldn't it like been there for days?
Yeah. Well.
You're right.
Yeah. It was probably there for a
Um,
couple days.
Maybe you're right. Yeah. I just wonder what that like room was going to be used for in the first place. Like, not usually do you go to a fair and they're like, we set up this building. That's
It'll be like that that room in Willy Wonka.
Oh my god. You're right. the
Zapping into his television.
yeah, yeah. Wonka vision. Oh, good stuff. All right. Well, anyone else want to add anything about Equestria Girls?
No, I don't think I have anything to add.
The legs are still freakishly long, I see.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, in that case, I guess we're done with spoilers. So.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone else come back in.
And just a reminder for everybody in the chat, if you donate to Cadet's GoFundMe, you get a doodle from me. I've been just doodling whatever because I haven't gotten any other folks, but that's still a thing that you can do. I will post the link again. Oh, I should have. Hold on. But yeah.
Cool. All right. So, we did that. Let's see here. Okay, what else is there, Sarah, to discuss?
BroNYCon.
Oh, are we already at BroNYCon?
Yeah. I don't know.
Whoa.
I only wrote
Well,
down
one
the
thing I did-
My Little Pony things. And
One-
then...
The one thing I didn't ask anybody is how their last 2 weeks have been. So, any other stories or news to report?
My
No.
past 2 weeks?
Nothing.
I don't know. Where is everybody? What's everybody doing? What?
Did I do past 2 weeks?
Even I'm trying to kind of rack my brain. Sarah, we went to
What?
the Jim Henson.
Oh
thing.
yeah, we did. He surprised me, and we went to a Jim Henson exhibit at a local cultural center, and it was really cool. I took pictures of like there was a Kermit the Frog puppet that was on display. There was a Bert and Ernie puppet. Like a lot of the puppets were on display. There was a lot of like cool gadgets that they had made to make puppetry possible. And you know, when we walked in there was a lady that was at the door greeting folks, and she said, hey, so just so you know, the exhibit is on the left, and on the right at about 3:00 we're gonna have a special screening of an episode of Fraggle Rock and the Doozers, and there will be one of the actors there to take pictures with and stuff afterwards. And we were trying to get it out of her who the actor was, and we kind of failed in that regard. We just were like, oh, there's an actor here, and she's like, yep, and we were just kind of like, okay. So I kind of was racking my brain being like, who would be here? Like, the only people that I could think of that were on Fraggle Rock would be Dave Goles, who did Boober, and Karen Perel, which was Red. And I'm like, those are the only two people that I can really see being here. And then we passed by the auditorium because we were just checking how busy it was. And it said on the sign next to it, John Tartaglia. And I'm like,
Hi.
oh, okay. Because he wasn't on the original cast. He was on Avenue Q, and he's apparently been doing public appearances as Gobo Fraggle for a lot of things related to Fraggle Rock, and I was just like, oh, okay. But yeah. But it was still fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a nifty little thing that was going on. And I was
Yeah.
like, aha, I will surprise Sarah.
Jeffrey, you said one thing during the exhibit that I want to reiterate is how underappreciated a lot of the work that went into those shows and those movies.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like a lot of the stuff, like Fraggle Rock back in the day, a late 80s TV show, like a lot of the stuff I figured like, oh, I'm probably overthinking how they would do this. With some of the like little characters that they'd interact with, and I find out that they had these fully like they were basically like animatronics that they controlled with a hand glove, and I'm like, what the hell? Like they threw all this freaking, I mean, and it worked, but I'm just like, wow, like they literally had these like little doozer things sitting on their desk, and it would completely mimic the movement of their hand.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you could freak someone out with one of these. Like seriously. Yeah, but just in general, like because the Henson Company, they're known for, you know, they did a lot of work, especially coming through the 90s with any movies that involved big puppetry. Like one of the things, didn't the Henson Company have to do with that oh god, now I'm forgetting what the name of it was, but it was that that movie with the gigantic plant.
Yeah,
Little
Little Shop of Horrors. They did make the puppetry for that.
Yeah,
And-
like they've done a lot of stuff, and just seeing how they come together with it, it like makes my mind just be like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Because to me, I always think of like the Muppet cast and like Henson and all those guys. I always think of them as like, you know, guys with puppets in their garage, just kind of like having fun. Like, hey, we did it. Okay, now let's make a set on Sesame Street. Ah, ha, ha, we did it. It doesn't feel so technologically advanced, and then you see like all the stuff in the background, and I'm like, what the hell? It was actually very impressive to see. Yeah. So yeah, that's one thing that we did. So that was fun. Another thing, it was announced this week. I don't know if anyone saw it or if anyone's seen it, but there is a show on Netflix, and it's called The Toys That Made Us, and it was announced that they're gonna have an episode on My Little Pony, so that should be interesting.
Who would be interested in that?
I don't know. Who would they even like interview for that? Like, who knows? Probably, maybe. I mean, you never know. But they could be smart and good
Probably
looking.
not.
That seems
But-
a little outrageous.
So yeah,
Of the obsession with rabbit bra strap.
let's hope not. We have enough of those people in the world as it is. So, yes.
I was gonna say, do we? And then I doubled back and I was like, yes, we do actually.
One is too many.
Oh, there's like an Art of Zootopia book like right in front of me.
Oh,
What?
Yeah, I put it downstairs for guests to read whenever they're over.
Oh.
Why am I not at your house?
You have the book.
Yeah, we
You have it.
Yeah. We pre-ordered it even.
I want another one.
I want 5 copies.
Well, what
One
if
for each
like-
hand.
one to cuddle and one to have on display?
One for each appendage.
That was a
I have
lot
5
of Art of
appendage.
Zootopia books.
Yeah. Didn't they the Art of Zootopia book? I remember when they because they kept pushing the date back.
Yeah.
Because we had
They
pre-ordered
got
it,
backlogged.
and
Logged or something
yeah,
like that.
like they had way more people order that thing than they were expecting.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing. I was like, I can wait if this is why. I can wait.
Genuinely, that information is like genuinely fascinating. Though I was reading it, I was like, no kidding, man. Like,
Yeah.
this is really interesting.
Yeah. God bless that movie. God
Freaking-
bless you, little bunny.
Yeah,
Bless
the,
you, bunny.
the information on the cars is the most interesting stuff in there. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah?
dang, how did you
Yeah.
home
Like they actually like hired people who designed cars to like.
I still love that they hired someone who works in with space
Yeah,
environments
yeah.
with NASA to
To-
develop how they can make Zootopia. Like,
Yeah.
how
It's
can
crazy.
we have a hot land and a cold land? Well, I'll show you. But yeah, I'm so glad we're gushing about Zootopia. Did it begin? So yeah, I guess that about covers. Like I asked if anyone has any other stories from the last 2 weeks or so, anything exciting or new that's come up.
We do.
Right.
I have an editor now on my YouTube channel. and
That's true.
He's working.
That's
out
cool.
fantastic. So there's that for me.
Saber's paying me an exposure.
Oh snap! I dropped.
I thought someone got super mad that I said that.
I caught up on Boruto, which is it's alright, but this latest episode was very good, like very good. I was watching it and Jax is like, yo, you need to hurry up and finish because episode 65 is dope. And I was like, okay, Jax. And then I watched it. I was like, okay, Jax. You...
Okay, friendo. Okay.
It was really well done.
That reminds me, speaking of anime, you and
No!
I, and also Jax, have been watching that anime called Cells at Work, where it's just about like.
Excuse me, I think you mean Hataraku by Cyber.
Yeah, you meant
No, so.
Yeah, it's about the cells in your body, but they're all anime people.
Osmosis Jones.
Stop! It's not Osmosis Jones.
Yeah.
It's not fucking. It was
It's
worthy.
it's actually way more accurate than Osmosis Jones. Like everything, all the information in it is like actually
Dead
real
accurate.
information.
Alright.
Yeah.
See, but the question you have to ask yourself is, did they know a sugar molecule that cured cancer?
It was malaria. I thought, my friend.
What?
Well, malaria
It
is
was
bad
anthrax.
too.
Yeah, it was anthrax.
They cured anthrax.
Yeah, it was a sugar pill that cured anthrax. It was great.
Yeah, they introduced hey, this new character is the killer T cell, and I was like, that is a real thing. Wow, they are not messing around.
The macrophage.
The macrophage came in with the freaking hatchet. I was like, what the?
So I honestly don't know. Are we still talking about Osmosis Jones or
No.
the anime?
We're talking about the anime.
I was like, wow, I don't remember any of this.
You know, when the macrophage comes in with the hatchet and Osmosis Jones. No, Osmosis Jones is so disgusting. I hate it. It's so gross.
Oh, the
The
scene
zit.
where like, yeah,
Everything.
Yeah.
The zit especially though.
everything about your life. Sarah, what movie did we see last week?
Last week?
Hotel
At the-
Transylvania.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Why?
Because we have movie pass.
I love how genuine that was.
Why?
Why?
I would
Why
like to
would-
know.
saw
We have
the
movie
movie,
pass, and it just feels more financially like we're doing more for our buck when we go to more
Okay.
movies.
But there are other movies out, right?
Yeah. Now there are. I don't know.
Sarah
Um,
wouldn't see Skyscraper with me.
I'm not interested
That's
in
that new James Bond
That
movie,
looks
right?
hilarious.
Skyscraper.
Yeah, with Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Starring in an 80s
or
movie.
The Rock, or never mind.
Rock the Dwayne Johnson.
Rock the Dwayne Johnson. Rock the Dragon.
Dwayne Johnson. I was getting a lot of stuff done to my car in the past 2 weeks, and I was at Sam's Club. I don't even know if y'all have those in California. I imagine you do. You do.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I was getting some tire stuff getting done, and I was sitting down in the waiting room, quote unquote, and on the TVs they had Despicable Me 3 playing, which I've never seen, and I was just watching it. I was like, is this what people, when people think like watching animation is kiddie, is this what they think I'm watching? Because when I was watching Despicable Me 3, even I couldn't get into it. I was like, man, this is too kiddie even for me.
So
Honestly,
when you were with your car, were you retired?
So what? Yes.
They probably think of like G3.5 and we're like, we're gonna go watch a cartoon.
I don't know, but when I was watching it, I was like, yeah, this is too kiddie for me. I can't get into it. Like, the villain's like dancing like a big old idiot, and I'm like, ugh.
You're watching CNN.
Love it. Another thing that Sarah and I did, we did it it was the weekend after our last podcast. Sarah, you and I went to the roller rink.
Oh yeah, we roller skated. And we didn't fall down at all, which I was surprised. I thought at least Jeffrey would fall down at least once.
Wow, thanks.
Yeah.
Called out.
I mean,
He's not the most graceful
damn.
person. Like, when we went ice skating that one time, it was pretty hazardous. So,
Ice skating is hard.
yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm afraid to fall down. Like, as a kid, I didn't care. But, like, now for some reason, I'm like, I don't want to fall.
Race, if you fall down, you might not get back up.
Why? I have life.
Oh, that's true.
So, really quickly, when you said that, I'm just looking at the podcast, background picture with all the pony, with all y'all's ponies in it, and Race is like, we went to the roller rink, and like his pony looks like all happy, and it says next to him like, no one fell down. I really expected this. Is like the faces match up perfectly with the story. I love it.
So yeah. So if no one else has any stories or anything to bring up,
I think so.
then I'll mention how I almost lost my finger this week.
No.
Yes.
I mean, I guess yay in the long run that you
Yeah,
didn't.
'cause you lose it.
Yeah. I opened a door. And that's all it took. It was at the bank. I opened the door, and all of a sudden I looked at my hand and I'm like, why am I bleeding?
Oh my god.
And it was a big scratch. Like, some people might be like, oh, you're exaggerating.
It took a good chunk of his skin off.
A sizable divot in your arm.
Oh my god.
Thank you.
I swear no other movie is this quotable, like legit.
All right. Well, folks, like we talked about, and as has been advertised, this is the BroNYCon preview show. At least for those of us here in the Semi-Perfect Podcast. We have a stacked schedule. Some of us busier than others. You wish, Paleo.
Gross.
But yeah. So I guess essentially we'll kind of just go through the take a look at the schedule, what we'll be doing, what we can expect. Schedule. And talk about anticipation and everything. So, again, you guys, I think everybody in this podcast is leaving for BroNYCon at some point Thursday.
Yep.
That's tomorrow.
That is a real thing.
That is tomorrow. So, I think I'm leaving the latest, but I could be wrong.
I think
Because you're
Sarah
on the West Coast.
Yeah, which makes less sense.
Right.
But yeah, when are you guys leaving?
in the morning.
10 to 12, anywhere in that time period, just depending on. I need to be awake because I need to drive. So,
I think
That's true.
we're trying to leave closer to 10 because if we leave at 12, then we're gonna arrive at like 5 p.m.
right into the DC area and then just like turn
Yeah.
around, boys.
Well, it's like
over.
we'll get to the DC
Turn around,
area
boys, right?
at like 4:30, right when it's starting, and then we'll
Yeah.
get inside Baltimore until like 6 probably. And I'm not
Yeah.
about that.
You said when it started, it's always started. It
you're
never
not wrong.
stops. I hate DC so much.
It's terrible.
Why is that our capital?
Thanks, Hamilton.
Actually.
By the way, as we get into this conversation, in case there's anyone that is that's just coming into the Semi Perfect podcast, a reminder that we do have a fundraiser right now going on for Cadet, who was in a car accident earlier today on her way to BroNYCon. She's physically, and those that are with her are physically okay, but obviously there's a lot of expenses and kind of an emergency fund that we're throwing together for her. So there's the GoFundMe page. If you notice, Sarah is doodling. She is doing doodles for anyone that donates to the GoFundMe page. If you donate, leave a little note on what you'd like Sarah to draw during this
I'll
podcast.
drop another link. Boop.
Boop. So yeah. Okay. So that being said, let's see here. All right, the schedule. Here we go. So Friday, opening ceremonies kicks off the entire BroNYCon 2018 in the main hall from 10 to 10:30. I know Saber and I will be there for sure.
Yep.
Which means we get to wake up. Yeah. And then after that, we're gonna eat for 6 hours.
That sounds about right.
Pratt Street Ale House.
Yeah, just constant intake.
They're like trying to be like, hey, can I bring out your check now? No, another order, please.
Saber said something brilliant. He's like, we're just gonna open a tab and be like, all right.
I want to get that macaroni again, but the macaroni's $21, but it's so good. But it's $21.
Oh, at the Pratt Street Ale House. I thought you meant at that macaroni place we went to last year. I was like, that was not good.
Oh, noodles. Is it's alright. It's just they did something terrible to Paleo's order.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I was like, there's like barely any cheese on this
Like-
macaroni.
Noodles is usually a little bit better than that. I was
It
pretty
was-
surprised too.
It was disappointing because we went the year before and it was a really good experience. And then
Wait, there's 3 places at which pasta was had, because there was
Yeah.
noodles and
oh,
Noodles
are you guys are talking about the place that you went to when I wasn't there?
Yeah, Noodles
There's
and Company. It's a
nothing
chain.
I was convinced that
Real House.
yeah, okay. I was convinced that like
Oh,
it
you're
was
talking about
even
Luna
worse
del
than I
Sol.
remember. I haven't watched the 2017 vlog yet. That's tomorrow.
Luna del Sol was actually really disappointing the second time we went
That's
there.
what I
because-
meant.
Yeah, because Joey was there the first time we went there, and he like gave us the crunchy bread and the peppercorn over a
Joey!
gold glass.
We were, like, incapacitated, where we were like, just give us anything, leave it.
Yeah, and it was like wasn't it like the only place that was open for some reason? So we were like, we only have this option, and it ended up being like a lifesaver. And we were like, we love Joey.
Yeah, and Joey doesn't work there anymore.
Yeah, and
Bye,
it just
Joey.
effed everything up.
That
So-
shell Alfredo was like for real very good though, and then it just wasn't the second time.
It was. I know, I agree. So the first panel that's happening really that we're going to be running happens to be our biggest panel of the year. It's the Hooves Line panel. It's from 4:30 to 6 in the main hall. Again, this is on Friday. Usually it's on Saturday. Sometimes it's been on Sunday. They put us on Friday this year. So make sure that you mark your calendars. We'll have on that, it'll be Saber, Silver Quill, Gabe. I was like, who's the other? Gabe's gonna be on it, and myself. And so we'll and then who knows who else may appear on that panel, but definitely looking forward to it. Again, Who's Line, 4:30 to 6. I have this pinned also. The schedule's pinned on my Twitter, so you can follow along there as well. Essentially from like 4:30 to 11:30 on Friday we're booked. We have a meet and greet from 6:30 to 7:30 in the Harmony Plaza, and it's they set it up this year where the community guests will have some meet and greet times, and it's something that we've kind of throughout the years have said, hey, it would be great if we had this kind of thing, because otherwise it's hard for people to know, like, well, when can I catch you? And then it ends up clogging up hallways, and it's easier for us if we say, hey, at 6:30 meet us here. If you can't do that, then the next day, so yeah, it should help out with a bunch of like security concerns that have happened throughout the years. So cool that they're doing it this year. 6:30 to 7:30 on Friday. Brody's React panel is also on Friday. I think this might be the second time that we have a Who's Line and Brony's React on the same day at BroNYCon, but it's from 8 to 9 in the Sun Hall. And
So bring your sunscreen.
Bring it.
Bring your boy.
Bring your bronies. So yeah, that should be indeed some fun. Brony Palooza, Saber and I will be doing some emceeing from 10 to 11:30. That being in the main hall. Now, given that the main hall, because I know this is one thing that we've been kind of like theorizing about the setup of BroNYCon this year, I see main hall listed as both the main panel room as well as Brony Palooza, which tells me that it's probably going to be in the same area that it was last year.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I did always love that upstairs main hall.
Upstairs, it made it feel like it was the most important thing. I liked it. Yeah.
It felt like, yeah, it was the most important thing. Do you guys know of anything else that anyone's doing on Friday? As far as anyone of us?
Huh?
Friday? Commitments? Panels that you guys...
I don't think so.
Hold on, I have both mine and Saber's schedules because I know that he probably doesn't know his schedule.
Just pull up Race's schedule.
Convention.
Right.
So Saturday, we're gonna kick it off from 10 to 11 back in the Sun Hall, the podcasting panel, and I actually think that everybody that is in this podcast right now, is everyone that's going to be in that, plus Gabe, who should be here right now, but who knows where he is. Yeah, so we're going to have a big... You know what's funny is, like, I'm like, I should totally see if they scheduled him for autographs during all of these times.
What are the chances?
Good.
Very high.
High.
Yeah, surprisingly high. So again, can't wait to meet everybody at the podcast panel. It'll be fun. We're just going to be talking about whatever topics, whatever questions you guys come up with, and we'll just have a blast with it. Looking forward to podcast panel.
Yeah.
I am pulling up. I could do this later, but I'm not willing to do it later. Let's see here. Nope. He does not have autographs during that time.
Nice.
He probably has a panel. Probably.
They will find something.
Something. Anything.
Gabe, you're able to do something? Well, come do this other thing.
He's
Okay.
constantly doing things.
Yep.
Right.
You'll be our star attraction.
Oh my god.
Putting Space Jam when the alien. I'll show you later.
Okay.
I honestly, it looks to me like everything's good to go. Because Gabe, it looks like his first thing after the podcast panel is 11:45. He has a panel, so cool. So we have Saber and I have a meet and greet from 1:30 to 2:30 again in the Harmony Plaza, and then this year once again, and we're super stoked about this, from 3:15 to 4:15 in the main hall, script reading. will be joining some of the MLP staff and hoping to entertain as we read through a script put together by Tabitha. So that should be enjoyable. Now, Saber.
What's up?
Oh, never mind. I got jumbled on my own schedule. BroNYPalooza, again, will be helping MC that 9:30 to 11 on Saturday. And then here's a panel I'm really looking forward to: the Horse Famous After Dark panel from 11:30 to 12:30
What?
in the Hall of Chaos. It's a 21+ panel,
Hell yeah.
and I have no idea what to expect at all.
I am so excited.
It's gonna be fun. It's nice to know that there'll be a few others to help me carry Saberspark.
Yeah.
So
The only one drinking again.
Y'all just throw me a crucifix and tell me to walk back to the hotel.
shame. And then
Sorry. So, this is completely unrelated, but there's like this plastic bag that like my mom gave me that had like some old like family photos and stuff in it that's just like on the floor in the dining room.
Yeah.
And we had no idea until she climbed out of it that Daenerys was sleeping in there the entire time we've been doing this.
I thought she was on the chair
I
across
had
from
no
me.
idea where she was.
I've been looking down constantly at Lammy, who's next to the bag.
He's right there.
I didn't even notice it behind us in the bag.
Sneaky sleeps.
Daenerys. How did that name become a name?
It was her name when we adopted her.
Oh, well, I guess that'll do it.
That's
They were all, her and like the other kittens in her litter were all named after Game of Thrones characters. It was really cute.
All right, so moving on to Sunday. Riffing is magic. The riffing panel comes back 11:30 to 12:30 in the Sun Hall. Meet and greet 1:30 to 2:30 in Harmony Plaza. So again, each day we have an hour meet and greet. And then closing ceremonies 4:30 to 5. So it's another. I mean, when it comes to BroNYCon, Saber and I are typically ready to go for a busy schedule, and this one be no different. So excited. There's also going to be an additional panel that is unannounced, but those that are at it will know what it is once we show up. So yeah, it'll be fun. I have always been looking forward. BroNYCon, it's BroNYCon, and I remember the first year that I got into this fandom back in 2012. A lot of people that I was starting to meet and become friends with online through this fandom were going to BroNYCon, and I was so jealous. I was like, I want to go to BroNYCon, but it's too late. I can't. And I'm so
Saber
glad
and I
that.
were like, why isn't Race here?
Did you actually? Were you actually wondering that?
No, we weren't.
We don't
Fuck
care.
you. No, it's ever since I started going in 2013, and I've been posting the vlogs and whatnot the last few days, but it's always been just something else. I mean, really, any convention we've been to has just been they each have their stories, their memories, and BroNYCon 2018 is sure to be a memory maker, and I am so stoked for the seeing all you guys and girls again, and getting to meet a bunch of new people and seeing a lot of old faces. And yeah, BroNYCon 2018 is right about upon us here. So yeah. What are you guys looking forward to?
Everything.
yeah. I mean, it's gonna be my first time, so I'm just looking forward to everything, because it'll all be a new experience.
Yeah. I'll be curious to see what Sarah thinks.
Yeah.
Oh, our friend Nesca is coming to BroNYCon from Texas, so it'll be her
Nice.
going there too.
All these newbies.
It's
Excellent.
funny because she's like, yeah, I don't know anything about ponies. And
Yeah.
she knows things about ponies. Like,
Yeah.
this is like, what's that new one's name? Smolder. I was like, if you know really, you don't know anything about ponies, you know who Smolder is. Like, okay. And then she showed us like a picture of her room, like trying to show us like a Kingdom Hearts sword she had, and like
Yeah.
really in the back of the picture, I was like, is that Queen Chrysalis? She's like, oh yeah, I got that. I was like, what are you?
Not even qualified.
And just a reminder to everybody, anyone that can't make it out to BroNYCon, which at this point you probably know whether or not you're going. The vlogs will be in full swing, and of course I'll have a bunch of cameras
What if
running.
they're only in half swing?
Shut up. No, it's yeah. There's going to be a lot of coverage coming from BroNYCon 2018 on my part, and hopefully BroNYCon's part, but I can guarantee my part at least. That being said, just a reminder to folks, if there's ever a convention that you're hoping that will be at or whatnot, it always helps to let the conventions know that you want us there, whether or not it's a convention that we've been going to for years or haven't been to once. As of right now, it's looking like BroNYCon is going to be, at least Saber and my last convention of the year. So just throwing out that, if there's any convention that's happening between now and the end of the year that you hope that we're at, it always helps to let the convention know that you'd like us there. So just throwing that out there. We've had a lot of fun at the big conventions, small conventions, and BroNYCon, of course, typically the biggest one of the year. So it's coming, yeah. I see people are starting to place bets on the attendance numbers.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I
Thanks so much, ladies and gentlemen.
But it'll be it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you. It'll be grand.
Well, no one responded. I also would like to see my friend. Yes.
Ross Pitt's asking, no Cider Fest? Again, hopefully, but it helps to let them know if you want us there. So that's kind of a wrap there on BroNYCon 2018, and of course when we come back in 2 weeks, we'll share our stories. Hopefully all the vlogs and everything are posted by that point, but yeah, and then we'll kind of do our recap there. But I guess we could jump into Q&A now.
I feel like whenever we have a convention, it's always 2 weeks until we get to talk about it, and it's never like the next week that the show happens.
Right. There's a weird, which means that it would have been the like this, where it's like, all right, we're going to the convention in a day. So, yeah. Let's see here. So, Sarah, are we ready to jump into Q&A?
Yeah.
SPP questions.
Yeah.
Saber can do
so
an
if you've
incredible...
got a question for us on the podcast, hashtag SPP questions, plural, on Twitter.
Yeah. Let's see here. Well, I'm gonna go through these. And again, if you ever submit a question we don't get to it, feel free to send it back to us the following week. Yeah, I love this because as I scroll through the SPP questions, I see Laura's video from last year or last podcast.
Year, yes.
Last year, and Saber was telling his wonderful children's stories.
Yep.
Let's see here. Where would I start? Well, here's a fun topic. Since we're starting Q&A a little earlier, we might be able to embellish a little bit on some of these. Ozzy was asking, thoughts on Butch Hartman.
Oh,
There's a
geez.
lot. Let's see. I'm gonna read how he said it. Thoughts on Butch Hartman is a liar and a coward for making crowdfunding first. Anyways, just let's leave it at thoughts on Butch Hartman.
Yeah, kind of seems like he's a piece of poop.
More like bitch Hartman.
Whoa! Whoa!
Whoa, one of Paleo's more likes actually like.
More like Butch Heartless.
Wow.
That's right.
We're like bitch Bartman.
More like fuck Fartman.
More like fuck Cartman, honestly.
So, Butch, he
Sucks.
yeah. Well said. We're good here.
All right. Next question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Does it bother people when someone who I didn't really watch
Yes.
as much, but yeah, I mean we're talking childhoods here.
Oh, I'm furious.
Yeah.
It just
Like-
feels so lied to, you know? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like just don't open your mouths.
Right.
Stop talking to everyone.
People keep doing it too. It's like you built up something. You built it up for so long, and you're like, let me go over the internet and say a thing! And
Just
then they
to
keep
ruin
saying,
And it was
it doesn't even matter how like beloved you are. You just say like 1.5 wrong things. It's over.
and honestly, it felt like some of most of the stuff he was arguing felt like the most unnecessary like arguments I've ever heard. Like I don't remember the last time I've ever heard anyone debate about introverts. And I'm like, where did this come from? Who even has this opinion? Like what?
It's
Literally
selfish.
only him.
If you're introverted, you're selfish.
Selfish.
Like, damn you introverts! I hope you've learned.
I mean, that did make me really interested. I was walking into work when I was playing that clip. I was like, "Tell me, Butch. Tell me why I'm selfish. You have my attention now."
It was his hook. Yeah. Anyone else want to say anything about Butch Hartman?
Yes.
I have a lot of things.
I have a lot of things, right?
It's not the correct platform for them.
It's like.
Well,
He
someone did
sounds
ask.
Literally, he sounds literally like a first grader. He's
Yeah.
like, people who critique are weak. Weak rhymes with. So yeah, I was like, that's like the most first grader argument
Right.
I've ever heard. Like, are you kidding? You think you can take me down? Like, best of luck.
Hartman rhymes with dickhead man. Therefore,
Right.
you are one.
It does.
See, poetry's been a passion of mine.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it just I don't get it.
Also, the Tara Strong suicide thing was
Oh,
just.
don't even get me started on that.
What in the world?
Yeah.
Why was that necessary? He knew her for a long time, and he's just like, you know what's a good idea? Say this right now.
Yeah, so a little context for anyone that doesn't know, Butch basically, in a joking way, it was like, well, she killed herself because of you or whatever, and it's like,
Yep.
what? Who says that? Who says that?
You could like see the discomfort on Tara's face
Yeah.
too. She's like, oh gosh, shut up. I know that face because I make that face a lot.
Yeah.
I don't want to say like too much because I know I'll get really mad and I'll start yelling about it. But like, I actually went in to like see that podcast, like at least that part of it, just to, like make sure it wasn't someone like editing something weird or like making it up. And I couldn't handle anything for a few hours. I was so angry.
It's
Again,
a big old mess.
I was just confused. I was like, why?
Yeah.
Because he's a terrible
What?
person.
Yeah.
It'd be like, I don't know, like it's almost so stupid. It's hard for me to come up with like an example of like it's like someone saying this. Because
You're
I'm
right.
like, no, that makes more sense.
There's nothing as stupid.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's lines you just don't cross, and cross. I don't know. Wasn't there also something about like how the podcast itself, like, became like it wasn't exactly what it was advertised to be?
His streaming service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
if you
what
want,
it was.
If you want like a lot
He was
of
very
info on
vague
it,
about it.
Yeah, watch Pie Guy Rules channel. He has a few videos about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, don't critique him, because that means you're weak. Whoo-wee. So yeah. So that was a good starter.
Yeah, I mean, I
let's
know
see
I
here.
know.
Oh, also, really quickly,
Yes.
in that critique video, oh man, there's so much in that critique video. He's like, so yeah, that's how I feel about people on the internet. And the lady that was like with him, she's like, you're hiding behind the keyboard. And he's like, yeah, you're hiding behind the keyboard. I was like, boy, you want to be face to face with me? I will say this to your face, no problem, no problem.
Right?
I can't get to you. But
You better hope I can't get to you. Let's see. Drummer Shy has a question. He's asking, so out of all the BroNYCons that you've appeared at, which one stood out as an all-time great year?
I mean, I have one.
2016.
Yeah.
Were you answering for her, or were you answering for yourself, Hiro?
For me.
Oh, because I was gonna say, gee, I don't know what happened. Oh, I know what happened to Lauren.
Well, no, you don't because you didn't watch the vlog recently, so it's fine.
No, I watched that one today. And you grew wings that year. Incredible.
They were very heavy, and the harness was made at my house, so it wasn't very ergonomic.
You cosplayers sometimes scare me. I'm like, how do you do what you do? Like, I'll never forget seeing you, not knowing that I'd be talking with you years later on this podcast, but seeing you with those wings in that that area near the main hall, and just like trying to figure out how you even get around. I'm like, how do you get into doorways?
You really don't. Because if you want to be like, oh, I'm gonna walk around the convention and do stuff, you don't wear that. It's more of like you want to find a spot to stand and take pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you're not gonna go anywhere. And
Yeah.
if you do want to walk, you have to walk sideways.
That's the perfect time when you have those wings on. Perfect time to go into the vendor hall.
And knock every single booth over.
Oh my god.
But the thing is, you can since the way the harness is set up, I can take the wings out, so I could take them out and just carry them around, so I can actually walk around places. But it's just a pain in the butt.
Yeah. Like I've said, this isn't me just being like, oh, just about every year I've been to BroNYCon, it has been a great year. Like there's never been a bad BroNYCon year for me.
I think
There's been what?
I was gonna say I think one of the peak years for almost everyone, and mainly it's because it was the biggest year, was 2015, because they had the peak attendance, and I felt like a lot was going on.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Yeah, 2015 was great. 2015 was also weird for me though, because 2015 had one of the most interesting Bronies React panels I've ever been a part of.
Oh yeah, it was.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
there was also a really great Who's Line that year.
Yeah, Who's Line was epic that year. We had Ailimani and Noakin on with Saber and I. Both Henry and Gabe weren't able to make it out that year, and they did great. Like it just everything was hitting on all cylinders that year.
Was that the Overwatch year?
Was it the what?
The Overwatch year, and just Overwatch was running rampant everywhere.
I
No, not
think that was.
2015. That was
I think
2016.
that was.
Oh, I thought
16.
we were talking about yeah, it's 2016. You're
Yeah,
right.
because I know that Paleo even was wearing a Diva shirt.
Oh my god. Then
And
he won
it's
the
one of-
convention, right?
Yeah, well, he ended one of the vlogs with Nerf This while we were watching.
Oh my goodness.
Wait,
Yeah,
2015.
and we
Yeah.
that was the moment where we had no idea still don't know where Saber was during all this, but
Yeah.
Oh yes.
But we were hanging out with Jim that year.
That's why it's my favorite? The 2016. Not because Saber was gone. That sounds
Saber
terrible.
Because Jim was there.
Jim was there. Jim is so cool, man.
Jim
I want to be
has-
that cool.
Maybe he'll come again some other year.
I was watching the because you and Jim, talking to Paleo, you and Jim hosted the Who's Line in 2016,
That was
Yeah.
great.
and you Jim had a quip that came out of nowhere, and I don't know if it was just off the cuff or where he came up with this, but you were explaining two-line vocabulary, and you said like, so the way this game works is one person has their full vocabulary and can say whatever they want, and the other two people only get 2 lines. And Jim goes, so it's like being pulled over.
Oh my god.
And I was like, wow. That is amazing. Dealing with the traffic cop. I was like, oh my god, that is so funny. Yeah, Jim was a pleasure to meet. I didn't have as much interaction prior to the convention because you guys knew him or know him. I had only interacted with him a couple of times, but yeah, he was a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm still kind of racking my brain. One of the most, to me, kind of the most amazing moments for BroNYCon may have been the 2014 BroNYCon, because the Who's Line that year, a lot of people may not know, essentially that Who's Line landed, so to speak, in our lap. And when I say our lap, I mainly mean Saber's lap, where they were like, hey, can you put this together, round up 2 teams, do this, do that. And so we had 2 teams for it, but that was the year that we got the musical elements involved more so. And we had that Ice Cold Water Guys song that came out of nowhere. And like there were just moments. And then Gabe doing his greatest hit stuff. Like I just felt like the only thing that kind of put a damper on that one was that we had such high anticipation that the actual Ice Cold Water Guy was going to show up at some moment that it kind of just made the ending of it kind of like a hard wrap up, because we were like, are we still waiting or should we just finish it? But still, I look back at that and I was like this is one of those moments where you can really just say like the stride was getting hit to what's led us to where we are now with the Who's Lines, because man, that was just a crazy year. But again, it's hard for me to choose a favorite year. Like I loved the first year, 2013. That was when I came out. I think we all came out for about a week that year.
Yeah, we did.
And I mean that was fun, going to the aquarium, watching Paleo communicate with dolphins and with a comb. Yeah, there's just so many memories. That's why I'm so excited about what we're about to do this coming weekend, because who knows what we'll be talking about a year from now. So yeah. Sarah, what was your favorite year?
At BroNYCon? I guess this
Yes.
year coming up.
Wow. There you go.
If you've only experienced one thing, does it necessarily have to be your favorite?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like nothing has to be your favorite. It's kind of a personal decision. That's why it's hard for me to actually like say like, oh, that was my favorite, because I'm like, I love them all.
That's your favorite movie.
That's my favorite movie. I could say that. I've never.
You like it more than the Black Cauldron, really?
It's close, but yes, just a little bit.
Next question maybe?
Wow.
I just feel like we've been talking like
Ross?
10 minutes about stuff that didn't have to.
Like BroNYCon? Well, the question was about our favorite BroNYCon.
Okay, fine. Just
Girl.
taking forever on it.
You're taking forever on it. Ross Pitt is asking, what is your favorite fight scene in a movie, show, etc.?
That's a difficult question.
Oh,
I'm gonna
man.
say,
Actually, it was good.
Jeez, man.
I had goosebumps in 300 when Leonidas was fighting the Persians. It was some good choreography.
I thought you were gonna say in Goosebumps.
2016.
The Persians.
Doesn't. I said this
from the beginning of the series to the end of the series of Kill la Kill.
just all of it.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Well,
I've said this before, but or maybe not here, but although Naruto is not my favorite anime ever, and people always look, oh, you watch Naruto, whatever, and I was totally like that for a little bit. Literally, my favorite anime moment in history, and nothing has trumped it yet, is during the Chunin exams of Naruto, when Rock Lee is fighting Gaara, and then Guy Sensei says, Rock, you can take off the weights, and he takes them off and starts moving at insane. That stuff, that is just the best.
I'm not even a Naruto fan. I remember that scene. I was like, that was a cool scene.
Right.
I also like the scene when I mean, this isn't really a fight scene, but I was looking at this footage a few days ago of when Goku first goes Super Saiyan and Frieza's losing his shit. I love that. That was such a big deal to me as a kid. I was like, wow.
And then you put Butch Hartman over it. Ruined it.
Best of luck, Frieza.
I love the way he says "best of luck." It's such a villain sounding line.
The thing about Butch, though, and I was gonna say this earlier, but I had to walk away to console Amy. But Butch is one of those types of people. I talked on the phone to Paley about this, where there's that YouTuber named Fauzi. You know what I'm talking about, Paley? Remember him?
Yeah.
All right. Well, he was on the news a week ago, and he's this really arrogant YouTuber who's always screaming, but he had this weird it's all about energy. It's all about positive energy, and I don't know. And then he started freaking out in this interview, saying I'm an alpha and you're a beta, and he's screwing at this other guy. And I kind of get the same vibe from Butch, whereas he has very much so an alpha mentality, where people like that think they can move mountains, and you know what? Sometimes they can. You have to. If you want to be, I don't know, a showrunner, you have to be ready to hustle and work hard for it. It's not the only way to do it, but it's one of the ways to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these folks also don't see that they can do wrong because I've made amazing stuff, so I can't make mistakes. And it's no, that's you're screwing up because no one's perfect. So yeah, I think Butch is one of those kind of people where he feels like he can't be wrong. And now I think his greatest downfall is how religiously charged his stuff is, because it's oh no, your Oaxis supporters didn't realize that they were pledging to a Christian streaming service.
Well, it's one of those things because there's a lot of good religious people in the world, and every now and then it's no, don't can you just be something else? Don't represent me.
Welcome to being part of a group.
Right? Let me tell you about it, Hero. Let me tell. Let's see here. I was gonna say the fight. Wow. I just realized how much of a tangent we put that.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I figured out why. Because
that time it was Saber's fault.
Yeah, well, but Ross Pitt, in regards to the question, I would say the fight scene in Dumb and Dumber, where he's dreaming about fighting for his ladies, I guess, just for her. Yeah, I loved the choreography in that, and his yep. So it was good. Anyone else?
No, not for me.
Okay. Let's see here. Ozial always sends a bunch of good questions, so we always have to sift. Let's see.
It is so delightful to look at this background picture and listen to you guys talk, because it works so well. In every occasion.
Let's see here. Ozial is asking. Let's see. With here we go. With Teen Titans Go to movies is coming this week. Which shows from Cartoon Network could make it into the big screen?
Steven Universe? Is that already happening?
They're
they're doing a movie. I think it's a TV movie. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be honest, I don't think any of them could actually have a cinematic movie.
Yeah, like Adventure Time could have had one,
Yeah.
but only back in 2015 when it was like at the peak of its popularity. Now, I don't think.
I mean, TV shows in general really don't get movies, and it's rare to see them succeed or at least, be good. So.
Did y'all
We
know
Bear
that
Bears.
Teen Titans Go to the Movies has like 88% out of 26 reviews so far?
Oh, I thought it was at 100 still.
No, it's at 88 right now. It's gotten 3 rotten reviews since last time. But
I think the reason it's been getting like so many good reviews, which I'm sure it's like pretty good, from what the trailers I've seen.
Mhm.
But I think one of the main reasons is that they're shitting on DC so much.
yeah. Yeah, they don't really
boy.
pull punches as far as making fun of themselves. And DC in general.
Yeah, because I think audiences are like really tired of what DC's trying to do.
Mhm.
So they're like, oh, come on.
Let's see here. Reckless is asking for everyone, who is or was your favorite mascot that you ever got to meet?
Mascot.
Is he a mascot? Like a Disney? you mean?
Yeah, I guess.
Like probably like a costume character at some sort of theme park. I was deathly afraid of them for the longest time in my life. But I guess I would say Chip and Dale.
Why were you deathly afraid of them, Sarah?
I don't know. I think it started with Sylvester the cat at Six Flags Over Texas. I was a young child sitting in my baby carriage, minding my own business, and Sylvester the cat literally like walks up to me and goes like right into my face. And apparently I screamed and cried. And I think that was the start of it. And then there was one time that I went to Disney World in about 2000, so I was about 8 or 9 years old. And Pluto came to our table. We did a character dinner. And Pluto came up to the table, and I dove underneath the table. I was so scared.
I got a
I'm just
story.
thinking, with Sylvester comes up to the baby carriage and like looks down, and then you start screaming, and then he goes like, suck it. Just goes away.
Waiting on you. I remember back in like 2002, whatever, my family and I went to Disney World, and we were just kids, like middle schoolers, my sister and I, and my little sister, she was in elementary, and we were near Frontierland, I guess near Splash Mountain, and that's where I think they have, it's close to the area, is the, what's the bear ride again? The one with the country bear jamboree, yeah. And outside of that area, though, the bears, like, there's like 2 or 3 of them wearing their costumes walking around, and they look really goofy because they're like really large looking characters, and they're kind of saggy and with their dumb bear faces.
Yeah.
And I vividly remember this. I remember looking at my little sister, who's like 6 or whatever. She walks up to the bear, and he's looking at her, and he's like waving his hand like, hello, little girl, and she just has her fist balled up to the side of her body.
Arthur.
Like Arthur. And I turn around to look away, and I look back, and I see the bear's turned his back on Rachel, and Rachel just takes her leg, cocks it back, and just bam, kicks the bear right in his butt. And it kicks him in the back of his costume where it's all saggy, so you see his fat butt like lift into the air with Rachel's foot kicking into it. It was comical. Like, this looks like it was ridiculous looking. To which the bear then snaps right back at her, and he points his finger in like the no motion, like, don't you kick me in the ass. I vividly remember that. I was never afraid of it.
Yeah.
Judy Hopps.
Oh yeah, there was a time where Judy Hopps was like doing a crab walk in California Adventure, and she was like on all 4s, naked, and making a
So it
growling
was the
noise.
person, not in the character suit.
Yes, it was a homeless guy.
Oh, okay. All right. So I found a picture. I'm probably gonna post this on Twitter, but there is a picture of me with an Easter bunny. And I look so incredibly unhappy of the events folding. So I'm gonna post that on Twitter in just a few moments, so everybody can see that.
All right. Quiet Storm says, "Hey guys, hope the stream is going well. Can't be there at the moment due to me doing the moving stuff. As for questions, how did you like the A Tale of Saber tweet? P.S. Love ya, Saber. Hope you get lots of funds for Cadet."
I feel bad. I don't even know what that is.
True story. I'm trying to figure
Who
it
was
out.
the person that asked the mascot question? Was it Reckless?
Reckless.
Okay.
Yep.
I feel bad. I can't really recall. I have a bad memory.
Well, we love you, Quiet Storm. Nor Mermaid asking, question for Hirosashii.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like Big Hero 6?
Not really, actually.
And has anyone mistaken you for Hero from the movie?
Ha! Once, yeah. That's actually really funny.
Where did someone make that error?
What? Someone on Twitter. I don't know. They're probably joking, but like, yeah, like Hero, like from Big Hero 6. I was like, no, no at all.
Nope.
Hero as in not that hero. Yeah.
Why didn't you
That
like the movie?
It's felt like they're like these. Oh, they're not all interesting. There were these 3 interesting out of the 6 characters. 3 interesting characters in my opinion. And like the background characters, I feel like they could have given them a whole lot more development, but they're just kind of glossed over. They're like, "Hey, she's the smart Asian one. Hey, he's the silly black one." It's like, like I feel like they didn't get much character development. Like Hero did, sure, and Baymax did. I was really interested in Honey Lemon. I was like, "Tell me more," but they didn't. And she's like she's chemistry. She does chemistry. I'm like, all right, cool.
What's weird about Big Hero 6 is that out of all the 2010 Disney movies, it's like one of the most unique, but also the most forgettable.
It's a little boring, but
It's a little boring.
I feel hard that they announced a sequel.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Wait. What do you mean they announced a sequel?
Yeah, it's called Bigger Hero 6.
Oh,
No, it's called Big Hero 7. Come on.
I actually,
hoping
like,
for Big Hero
my
7.
heart legit sank. I went, they're making a Big Hero 6 sequel?
No,
Well, they have a
no.
show.
Yeah, they got a show.
Yeah.
Zootopia's gonna get a prequel. It's gonna be called Monsters
You called
University.
racism the movie.
Monsters University. Called Gremlins.
It's called
Bambi.
Sing.
I really don't.
Sing.
I'd have to think longer, but I don't know off the cuff, like the main reason why I don't like Big Hero 6. But I've watched it 3 times, and each time I'm just like, yeah, just
Underwhelmed.
not really about it.
Okay, so I just tweeted the picture of me and the Easter Bunny, and I just linked it into the chat if anyone wants to look at that. But yeah, I was not a happy camper that day. I didn't. Well, I probably cried, and then my parents were like, "No, you just gotta take a picture with the Easter Bunny," and I was just like so pissed off. I was just like,
Tattoo.
yeah, it was like a little,
Like a little
like a
cracker
temporary
tattoo.
shitty tattoo that you put on with
See,
water.
Sarah was fine with tattoos, but not big ass bunnies.
Mm-hmm.
Or big bunnies with. Never mind.
Oh,
Rainbow.
wait, can I make a really quick point?
Yes,
Big Hero
yes.
6? That is
Yes.
just me being a gigantic weeaboo and being an angry weeaboo at that.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, yeah, Hero. I was like, yeah, cool, that's his name. And
Yeah.
Honey Lemon was like,
Hero.
I was like, oh my gosh, you freaking weird!
Hero. Hero.
I just hated it. I hated it so much.
Rainbow Spec asks, "Hey Race, what cameras do you use? I am just curious, and will you go to 1080p or 720p, 60 frames per second for your vlogs to smooth the quality?" If you'll notice, some of the older vlogs, honestly, I have a stack here of 6 cameras ready to go for BroNYCon right now. 3 Canons, 2 Panasonics, and 1 Sony.
You have a night vision
main.
one?
What?
The night vision one?
No.
Oh, you sold those back?
I no longer have a night vision one because that one, we killed that one.
Oh.
But the ones that I use for the vlogs is the HDR PJ 540 model. I think I could be wrong. I think I do film on 60, and then rendering was something I had to figure out for a while, because it's weird. There's a combination of smooth filming and like transition shots, and I hated it. It drove me nuts when, like, I guess it was an attempt to smooth things out, but like it double images if you pause, and I'm like,
Oh.
no. Yeah. So that was something I actually had help from Jay Holler. He kind of helped me out with my settings on that one, and I was like, thank you.
Tony Uncle.
From the dad. Rosie Diamond is asking, Val wants me to ask how excited you are for Hooves Line.
Excited.
Yeah,
Hooray!
I could take it or leave it. I'm
Shut
excited. My friends are funny.
Oh, thanks. Saber, you excited for Hooves Line?
Go.
No. I can't wait to see, because most of the people in this podcast, like Saber and I, will be on stage. Most of the people who aren't on stage that are in this podcast helped put the games together. So we'll see what kind of adventure they're going to put us through on this one. I'm excited. Jazz King is asking, if I didn't answer that question, I am super excited for Hooves Line. It's one of the biggest things I look forward to every convention. Jazz King is asking, what do you guys think about the... I pulled the brakes back. I don't know if this is something... It's a Steven Universe spoiler, depending on how far you are on this.
I'm not. I could mute for a second.
We'll hold off on this.
Yeah.
I think.
Maybe
Maybe
we'll
we should-
dedicate a day to talk about one of the podcasts to talk about
This is
Steven.
a fair
I have a
time.
spoiler, like I have a screen ready whenever people want to talk about Steven Universe, but like
We'll
I
save
don't
that.
know.
So Jazz King, we will discuss that at a later date. Rave Blitz is asking, will there be a Zootopia sequel?
No.
We asked Bob Iger.
I mean, like, probably.
There better be. I will be so upset. Like, I will just get increasingly more upset till I'm a very, like, grumpy old man by the age of 33, and I'll be
What?
like, "Ah!"
What Disney movies did ridiculously well other than Frozen and Zootopia? There was another one.
That did very well.
The Lion King.
I mean, like, recently. Lion
Oh.
King has a 2 and a 3.
Tangled did.
Dory.
Tangled? You think Tangled? I don't think Tangled's, like, ready for a sequel.
I mean,
Ready
are
for-
you
It
counting?
It didn't. It
It's a
probably
very
won't get a sequel.
complete
But it has a series though.
Yeah, it is
Are
a
you-
TV show.
Are you
Oh,
counting Pixar movies? Because
Nah, just Disney.
Oh, okay. In that
Because
case,
Pixar is its own thing, yeah, so.
Moana
Well.
did well, but not like. Zootopia.
Not like enough.
Yeah.
Right,
Like,
and that
Zootopia
was-
did well in multiple countries because Korea loves rabbits, apparently.
good. They have. I mean, I can relate. Yeah. It better get a sequel. Norris Brody says, or is asking, has Saber seen the first episode of Attack on Titan yet?
Yeah.
And would you ever think of doing a
What?
video on the show?
Do they mean of the third season?
Because
that
I
just
haven't
came
seen
out.
that.
it's not clarified, but
They probably
'cause
meant that.
I asked the question assuming that's what was being intended, because otherwise I know that you've seen Attack on Titan. You would just skip the first episode, but you watched the rest. Here we go. David 3X is asking, what is your scariest ghost encounter?
Right now, there's a ghost on the TV.
Oh, yeah.
You're in my house, so don't. Because I'm gonna have to jump out this window.
All right, got the house to myself.
I've never
one of
personally
the-
had an encounter.
My dad had a interesting one where we went to yeah, Vancouver, Canada, a very scary place, especially for anyone in the entertainment industry. And they have a bunch of like old buildings and whatnot, and it's apparently like one of the most haunted places in the world. Um, and so we did a ghost tour thing, and during the ghost tour, my dad was making fun of my mom and us kids. Like, we're just like, oh my god, watch out for the ghost. And my dad's like, uh-huh, yeah, this is stupid. And then the tour guide told us about this area that if you go there on a full moon night, you'll see like a ghost in this area. And we happened to be staying in the area, and that night was a full moon night, and we were like, "Oh my god!" And of course, I'm sure every parent that was like in that thing was like, "Are you kidding me? Now we have to come out here at midnight?" So we did, and my dad's just laughing at us the whole
The ghost
time, like,
is in the gift shop.
You want you to buy a T-shirt?
and so my dad's just going on like about like how this is stupid. You guys are like, why am I not asleep right now? I had to drive over here because of the stupid ghost story. So the next day, we were driving somewhere, and we stopped at this restaurant area, and we were getting food, and my dad went to go to the bathroom, and when he was coming back, it was weird because my dad had been gone for a while, and all of a sudden my dad like comes like walking really fast back to us, and he goes, "You guys won't believe what just happened." And apparently, as he was walking back, a chair that was like imagine like a big walkway that's kind of like a cabin-ish type of building, but it's got a big like platform balcony. The table was set up against one side, and then there's the building like 8 to 10 feet away from where this table's set up, and apparently the chair all of a sudden just zapped right past my dad and slammed against the building. And the only other person the other person that saw this was a waitress that was there, and she started freaking out about it, like, "Oh my god, did you just see that?" And my dad just sat there and was just like looking back and forth at the table and at the chair, at the table, at the chair, and he's like, "There's no wind, there's no like string, there's no nothing." And my dad came back and went, "Okay, you guys win." And my dad's been he's like, he's convinced that he made so much fun of like the whole ghost thing that he's the one that were like, "We're gonna fuck with this guy tomorrow." And
They're like, "Look at this fucking guy."
Ever since, I kid you not, ever since that day, my dad swears by that ghosts exist. And I saw it, you should have seen his face when he came back, because of course we're like, "What the hell are you talking about?" I thought he was still screwing with us, and yeah, he ever since
Your dad
he's like,
now a believer of the boss gospel of God. Boss gospel.
it was interesting.
At first,
The gospel.
oh, the boss costume?
My favorite ghost encounter though would probably be when we were up in Washington DC area, wherever the hell we were, when I got my
The
ticket.
Christmas to the Creamers thing.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, Paranormal Pursuers.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I love that.
I laughed so hard watching that.
It was weird because it progressively got stranger and stranger as the night went on.
I think my favorite part of that was when Saber reaches into a bathroom and he feels like the towel
Yeah.
on the wall and he gets freaked out.
That was legitimate terror. I was like,
Well, we all ran because it did make sense, because I think we came back and like the door, like, it was weird because we couldn't really recreate it, but the door shut itself, and it was, anything could have caused it, but it was just the timing of everything.
Yeah.
And then like I said, we eventually got locked out of the building, and we're like, well, wait, how did this happen if everybody's outside? Not knowing that Monique came back during while we're doing all this,
Yeah.
and locked the doors thinking everyone was already asleep or something.
Yeah.
And so it was like, what the fuck is going on? It was pretty epic. If you've never seen it, it's on YouTube. Paranormal Pursuers. It's like a 45-minute thing. And it starts with us screwing around and ends with us going like, what the fuck just happened?
The fuck?
What the fuck? What the fuck? Mars is asking, out of all the trailers that came out of Comic-Con, do any of you have a favorite? I don't know if this is
Godzilla. But
Godzilla.
I need to slow my roll. I don't want to get too hyped. Aquaman actually looked not terrible, but it
I
gets.
thought you told me you thought it looked terrible.
I don't know, terrible. It looked like it was bloated to me.
Oh, okay. My mistake.
Okay, I forgive you.
Shazam.
Shazam! Yeah, that looked pretty good too.
But my favorite thing was the Adventure Time panel, because it's the last time they're ever having one since the finale is in September. And yeah, they ended up crying at the end of the panel. I was like, oh. Sad.
And then you cried, and then everybody cried.
Yeah.
Wait, this was for what?
True though.
For the Adventure Time panel that was at
They cried
It's-
because it was all done?
yeah, it's all done. Like September 3rd is the finale.
I cry every time I'm done with a project at work.
Or every time he watches Zootopia.
I cry every time.
Nick this
Every time.
if you cry ever too.
Reckless is asking, out of all the funny moments on the Semi-Perfect podcast, which was your favorite?
When Saber got really drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a highlight, yeah. I forget what it was, but I remember we were making fun of how Sarah said something. It was, I think, her least favorite moment.
Oh yeah.
But it was. Do you remember what it was?
No.
See, you probably do, but you're not going to tell me. Yeah.
Sarah, why are you
Strategy.
Another question for Reckless asking, this one might be easy for us. Favorite pony cosplayer?
Ooh.
My girlfriend.
Laura.
Yeah.
This is so hard, because, like, I love all of them.
Laura's my favorite pony cosplayer.
So that means the only answer is none of them.
When they're
Yeah.
all your
If they're-
favorites.
None of them, because I can't
No,
choose one
it is.
favorite. You're right.
Dun dun dun.
So we're going to stick with that. No one.
It's like they're all so good. I really like Sarah, Serendipity, and I like Maddie Mizelle, and like their whole group, and Lachlan's so great. There's so many good cosplayers. I just want to like say everyone who's ever cosplayed ponies.
I always give credit to the cosplay community, specifically with MLP. I'm always impressed. Whether it's something that clearly somebody put hours and days and weeks and months of work into, or if it's something that clearly someone just threw on with toilet paper and a marker, I'm always like, yes, good work.
Also, the guys who do the Friendship is Manly cosplay every year.
Yes. Saber, you and I should do that. We have the bodies for it.
Absolutely.
We do. Rainbow Spec has a question asking, have you guys ever considered starting a Discord server? We have one.
We
for the Semi-Perfect
do.
Podcast.
I'll link it in the chat.
Link it.
I will once I find it. Where is it?
And then I think we're going to finish this off with the last question from David3X asking, which cartoon or anime character would you like to hang out with?
I actually
Ooh.
commented on that tweet with just like a gif of SpongeBob unrolling a giant list.
Oh. I thought your answer was SpongeBob. Now I get it.
No, it's because I have so many. I realize now that may have been unclear.
No.
You want to hang out with SpongeBob? I get
Yeah, I mean I can hang out with SpongeBob.
But why this GIF, Laura? Why this GIF?
Unrolling
That's
a giant list.
no, I know it's perfect.
I don't think you get it, Race. Let me explain it to you.
Explain, please. Well, let me think about who I'm gonna answer first.
Fix it, Felix.
I would choose Petrie from Land Before Time.
Yep.
No, that's Ducky.
I know. No, we were
Nope.
Before Time. Voices the other night.
That whole thing last night was just something else.
Yeah.
Notice how quiet Saber's staying right
I'm not gonna say a thing.
now. Judy Hopps. I mean, everyone knows this answer, but I'm gonna say it anyways. She's a rabbit. Rabbit.
Gross.
No. They're very clean and smell good.
No. I have friends who have rabbits, and they are not the neatest of pets.
Yeah.
Well, they evolved.
Their names are the bunny formerly known as Prince and Bonicio del Toro.
Wow.
I feel like these rabbits you speak of would be walking around with like guns and stuff. Anyone else? Sarah, who would you want to hang out with?
Fix it, Felix.
Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna be at BroNYCon. Jack McBrayer and Petrie.
Let's see.
Cool.
Checking.
Are you looking it up?
No, I was refreshing the GoFundMe page for Cadet.
Gotcha. Well, for anyone that did contribute toward the Cadet Fund, we thank you. Sarah, thank you for doing the Toodles, or the Toodles.
The Doodles.
Doodles.
The Toodles.
And a reminder, Sarah does do art commissions and whatnot, so if you're looking for anything that's a little bit more refined than a doodle, she does them. And with that, folks, this is it. The podcast is ending, which means the next thing on most of our itineraries is getting ready to go to BroNYCon. So, folks.
Okay.
Worst Godzilla roars I've ever heard.
I'd be upset. I'm like, Godzilla, wait till like Monday. You got BroNYCon. With that, folks, if you're going to be at BroNYCon, hopefully we'll see you and you can come by and say hi. Let us know who you are. And again, our schedules are posted on our Twitters. What did you say?
Tell us your secrets.
Yeah, that's everything. Yeah, no, I
Secrets of your flesh.
What?
I'm very excited. With that, that's a wrap here. We'll be back in 2 weeks to talk about the recap of BroNYCon. That means we'll be back August 8th.
Yep.
Hopefully it starts cool down here. 2020.
Well, I
But,
think that's
yeah,
the day after my parents come into town. Let me check that.
Good. Good.
It
Make it
sure
join.
is.
Make it join the podcast. With that, folks, that's a wrap. Thank you for coming out to the Semi-Perfect Podcast. If you listen on delay, thank you for checking us out. If you, of course, were here live, thank you so much to everybody that asked a question, that participated here in the chat, and, of course, the podcasters themselves. Thank you, guys. I will see you all, like, tomorrow night when you're asleep. Except for the one that loves me the most, Saberspark. I will see you, babe.
Lammy, you want to say anything before they go? Sorry. All right. Yeah. See y'all tomorrow.
All right.
Bye,
BroNYCon!
dim ponies.
Bye.